What's up, guys? Happy Saturday. Round two of my Saturday stream. Thanks for joining, guys. I appreciate it. Had a little snafu the first time. Lost power. Had some issues with OnAir. All straightened out. Should be. Hopefully the power will stay on. And this time we won't have an issue. But I welcome you and wish you a happy Saturday. Thanks again for joining. Today we're going to be flying an OnAir manager. We're going to be also giving away a 1-month subscription to OnAir a little bit later on, so stay tuned for that. And what we have on tap today is we got a couple of. We bought a new King Air 350 for the virtual airline. We'll talk about that, the virtual airline, in a second. Yes, Conrad, thanks for joining. Yes, we do. It's called VR Aviation Air in OnAir. That's what it's called. But we had some trouble before, but thankfully Diesel was able to figure it out, and now we can fly this new plane that we purchased, the King Air 350. And actually, these are the planes that we own here, right? We own an Airbus Diamond DA62. We own a Sobo DA62. We've got a Caravan. We've got a 930. We've got the King Air, and we've got the Longitude. So 6 planes right now, and we're planning to expand that even more. We'll talk about the VA once we get in the air here. We have a 190-mile trip. I guess it's about that, to Las Vegas to get these planes there. I'm going to be in the DA62. Diesel's going to be flying the 350. Because I can't fly it yet because I have to check ride it, and I'd rather check ride it at McCarran than at some airport with a dirt airfield that I won't be able to find from the air. But it'll be interesting because it'll be the first check ride that I've ever done in VR. So we're going to be in VR today using the HP Reverb G2. I recently upgraded my PC, so we're going to talk about that and some of the fun I had doing that. Actually posted a video on an issue that I ran into with that, but no, did I? No, I didn't. I think I just told someone about it. I didn't post a video. I posted something on the VR Aviation group. But before we get started, very quickly, on Thursday, a very good friend of mine, a guy I know for 55 years since kindergarten, passed away. His name was Tom. He's my best friend. And I just want to acknowledge him here. You guys don't know who he is. You'd never know who he is, but he knows who he is, and I do. And I just want to say I love you, Tommy, and I appreciate all the great times we had together and all that you did for me in my life. So rest in peace, Godspeed to heaven, and we'll see you again. Hopefully not soon, but we'll certainly see you again. So anyway, I appreciate that, guys. Let me do that. So let's get on with it. So we're going to be in the DA62 going from Madam Airport now. I should say Madame. I guess it's Madame Airport. Now, Madame Airport isn't in Sky Vector. It's somewhere around here, okay? Pardon me. It's somewhere around here, around this Montgomery area in Nevada. But so I found the closest airport, which is North Valley, and that'll at least give us some understanding of the terrain we have to fly. So looks like we need to be at about 10,000 feet, maybe even 13,000 if we're going to go. We actually, to be safe, we probably want to fly at 13,000. So that's where I'm going to be. And we're going to fly into Las Vegas. So not sure why it's not on Sky Vector. I guess it's a private airport. But as you can see here in FS 2020, this is the and we'll talk about how to sign up for the VA in a second here once we get in the air. So we're going to take off Madame Airport, 195 miles to McCarran, land on runway 19 right. If you want to join the flight, we're starting at 056. We're on the USA East server, and you guys are welcome to join the flight if you like to. So let's get that going. So we're going to hit the fly button there. And I'll switch over here to VR in a second. Let's see. So that while that's going here, so what we want to do is we want to go to this guy right here at 056. All right, make sure we got enough fuel in there. We don't, so I'm going to add some fuel. We got a 195-mile trip, so let's put, well, let's fill her up halfway. What the heck? All right, plenty of fuel. All right. Let's do confirm, fly now, and hopefully I've got the destination airport is KLAS, and hopefully I've got the time, I should say the time set properly. Time offset set properly. So there we are. All right. So while we're waiting to load our fuel here, it's going to take a few minutes. Let's get into VR here. Give me 1 second, guys. Oh, that doesn't work. Now we're in VR. Okay. So now, just a little note. This is going to be a little choppy. For some reason, HP Reverb, sorry, the Windows Mixed Reality preview is pretty choppy at times. So that in no way reflects what I'm seeing in VR. Okay. I'm still running the G2 Monkey. Yeah, I really don't want to go over the settings right now. It would take a lot of time to do that. I have a video on the settings that I use for Microsoft Flight Simulator. If you want to check that out, just look at my channel, look for that video. That's probably the best thing for you to do. It goes through everything in a concise way of how I have things set up. So if you want to check that out. All right. So yeah, so when you look at this image, this is not what I'm seeing in the G2. This is just unfortunately there's no great solution for mirroring with Windows Mixed Reality at this point, right? So, all right, so let me get in this plane. Actually, it looks like we're ready to go. I'm going to, all right. We're going to go to the flight tracking page. Yeah, we're about to start. We're not going to put any cargo. There's no cargo or passengers to take to McCarran, but that's okay. So we're going to start this flight here. All right, so this is weird. I'm getting this, what does this say? It says, we do not support any add-ons that change the time during the flight tracking. Do you want this warning to be displayed again next time? No. All right, so we just do start tracking. Everything is green, so we're going to do start tracking.
Your flight will be monitored until you land and shut down the engines.
Okay, so we're good there. So now let's get into VR here. Now I'm not going to be able to see chat, guys, unfortunately. All right, so we're in the DA62. We got our flight plan in. We said we're going to fly at 13,000. To be safe, we're going to go nav, vertical speed, and we'll climb. We'll start our climb at 600 feet per minute. And we got plenty of half tank of fuel, so we're good there. We got our flaps set. All right, so let's get the brakes off. All right. And we are off and running here. Throttling up to 90%. Brakes off. Plane is not moving. Why isn't the plane moving? Plane's not moving. Strange. Why isn't the plane moving? Okay. That's a good question. The plane is not moving. Why wouldn't the plane be moving? All right, any clue why the plane wouldn't be moving? Here we go. Starting to move now. That's really weird. It is so slow. Maybe it just doesn't like this dirt runway. I don't know. Luckily, it looks like we have enough room to get some airspeed up here, or some speed. Hopefully we don't go off a cliff or something up here, because we're going to need about 70 knots, I think. Uh-oh. All right. Let's get some airspeed. Gear up. Flaps up. This plane is sluggish. Not sure why.
Center Diamond November 8478 Echo is type Diamond to 62 2 miles northeast of Oscar 56.
All right, so I'm not going to be able to get over those mountains, so I think I'm going to fly over this way. Hand fly. Actually, I guess I can go through there. Let's take it through there.
Squawk 0274 Diamond 78 Echo.
Try to continue to gain altitude here.
Echo radar contact 2 miles east of Oscar 567,300 feet. Altimeter 29.902.
Copy Diamond 78 Echo.
We're just going to hand fly our way past these mountains here. We should be good to go. Provided we don't lose power. Hopefully diesel's behind me. I really don't want to look outside the cockpit now. I just want to focus on getting through that little valley right there. There he is. He's good to go. He's got much more power than me. This plane is super sluggish. I'm pumping this at 100% and not getting much response out of it. But judgment was okay here. We're going to get through this little valley here. And we'll be on our way to 13,000. Just making it through. Wow, just making it through. That is close. Too close for comfort. Too close for comfort. Look at that. That is close. Alright, I think we can go autopilot now.
Engaging autopilot.
I'm sure that Diesel will probably get there well before me. I'm flying. He's flying at 200 knots. I'm flying at 115 here, so we have what looks to be a 80-minute flight, but that's reducing. So once we get up to, once we get to altitude, we should fly at about 160 knots. All right, let's just turn on the de-icing just in case. This does it for 5 seconds. Looking good. Or I could probably go up a little faster here. I'm actually going to just throttle back a little bit to 90%. Actually, no. Well, let's leave her pedal to the metal till we get up there where we want to be, and then we can straighten things out. Yeah, I know. I had the same problem, Sar. There's some issue with the DA62. There's some issue with it. Yeah, the next plane, it's much better. Hey, Alan, how you doing? Thanks for joining. Guys, thanks all of you for joining. Yes, there's some issue with this plane in FS 2020, but that's okay. We got her where we needed to get her. And once we get in flight here, we'll once I get to altitude, I want to just go over the OnAir virtual airline that we have going and how to join if you guys like to join. And so I know some of you have already submitted requests to join, so just going to go over that and so everyone understands where we are, what we're doing. Seems that OnAir has made some decent changes to the virtual airline management, so it's now manageable. So we're looking forward to getting into that. And again, we're going to be giving away a 1-month subscription later on in the stream, so we'll get to that. So we're coming up to altitude here. 13th thou. Starting to pick up speed. I can throttle back a little bit here. I don't understand why the throttle is... There you go. We're running at 90%. ...166 knots airspeed, or ground... I guess that's airspeed, yeah. Ground speed, sorry. Ground speed. So, looking good down there. Nice and smooth. Great detail on this plane in VR, I will tell you. It really does look nice in VR. It just doesn't function well. It's got, like we saw there taking off, it's got those sluggish issues when taking off. Alright, so it looks like we're good to go. I don't know where the hell Diesel is. He's way ahead of me, making his way to Las Vegas. So let's talk about OnAir. Let's see. Go to desktop. All right. So if you guys, we have a couple things going here. We've got. Well, let's talk about this. Let me get this up here. We're gonna bring up the OnAir. Our VR Aviation OnAir Virtual Airline. It's called VRAAA. All right, 5 letters. You got to use 5 letters for the virtual airlines. VRAAA. All right, VR Aviation Air. Okay. We've got. Let's talk about the planes first. So we've got 6 planes. Okay. Someone's flying the Cessna right now. Okay. We've got the 208 Grand Caravan. We've got a Longitude 930, Beechcraft 350, which is what Diesel's flying to Las Vegas right now. This is what I'm flying right now, the Ti SC2 for Asobo. We also have an Aerobasque Ti SC2 for X-Plane 11. We're going to be getting more planes. Okay. And so those are our 6 planes right now. As far as FBOs go, we've got a network of 4 FBOs. The biggest ones will be Las Vegas, KLAS, McCarran, and Palm Springs. And we've got 2 smaller ones at Barstow, Daggett, and Kingman. And they form sort of a figure 8, and will be generating jobs within those 4 FBOs. So you'll be able to fly our planes to and from those FBOs. And that's really what we're kind of looking for, like a within network, a virtual airline. All right. So, for example, if you take a look at jobs here, if you're a member of the airline and you go to your company manager and you look at pending, whenever you see a green highlighted job, those are jobs for VR Aviation. Okay, you can see these are all jobs that are within our network. All right, so you'll be able to grab these. When you have a plane at one of our airports, one of our planes, you'll be able to grab these and fly it, okay? Now, as I mentioned, we're accepting new pilots, okay, which is cool. But we do have some things we want to ask you to comply with to be a pilot. And that's just to make sure that we keep things organized, okay? And we may limit the number of pilots right now because OnAir is still developing the virtual airline functionality, and we want to make sure that we don't overwhelm Diesel, who's graciously been volunteered by me to be our chief operating officer. So he's been doing a lot of work to get the FBO set up and making sure that things are set up so that we can all have fun with this virtual airline. But if you go to my Discord server, okay, and I'll put the link is in the description of my videos always, but I'll put the link here in chat as well. All right, join up the on the server, and then go to the VRAAA pilots application channel on that server under OnAir VR Aviation. Okay, and then look for the guidelines. This is pinned to the top. Okay, I believe it is. Yeah, it's pinned to the top. So there's really 5 things that we're asking people to comply with. One, you have to join the Discord server. That is where we're going to be communicating. Okay. 2, VRAA pilots must fly at least 1 profitable flight per month to maintain your pilot status. I don't think that's too much to ask. If you're number 3, if you're using a plane owned by the virtual airline, like the 6 planes I showed you before, they can only be used for jobs that are designated for the virtual airline, so those green highlighted jobs. Please don't use VR Aviation planes for personal jobs. Okay, that's not because I'm not sure if you're still able to do that, but if you can, what happens is when you use our plane and you're a pilot, we pay the gas, the rent, all that stuff, all the fees and stuff, and you get a 50% pilot's fee from whatever you generate. Okay, but we're paying the costs of fuel and fees and all that stuff. All right. So we ask you to please do that. Now I'm not sure, I'm pretty sure this is like the honor system here with this. So, but if we find that someone's abusing, like for example, in FS Economy, we have the same rule, and in our airline there, and I found someone last month that literally had dozens of flights. He was using our plane to fly his own personal flights, and I had to boot him. I gave him 1 warning, he continued to do it, and I had to boot him. So this doesn't benefit anybody. It doesn't, if we're doing this, then you guys are basically, it doesn't benefit the group, right? So anyway, number 3 is important. Number 4, if you're going to use a aircraft that's owned by our airline, we ask you to leave it at an FBO, one of those 4 FBOs here: Dags, Kingman, McCarran, or Palm Springs. We ask you to leave it at one of those FBOs when you're finished. This way, another pilot in the group will be able to easily use it and fly a job from one of our FBOs to the other. Now, we're going to be expanding these FBOs. We've got 4 now. We're going to be expanding it logically, okay, to build a nice network in the Nevada, California area, okay, maybe even into Colorado, we'll see. So we're going to be building that, okay? But it's important to leave aircrafts at a VRAA FBO. And then finally, we ask that VRAA, I forgot an A on this one, that you don't abuse any loopholes that you might find in OnAir's VA system. They're still developing it. If we find that you're abusing loopholes, you're going to be tossed. Okay, so please, if you find a loophole, let us know about it so that we can let them know about it, and it'll make it better for everybody. Okay, and as I said here, non-compliance with any of these requirements will probably result in you losing your wings. Okay, so please abide by those 5 things. Really, it's 4 things. The first one is join the server. That's pretty easy. But here's how you sign up. So when you want to sign up, all you do is go to this channel and type in agree, which means you're agreeing to these terms, and whatever your on-air name is. For example, my on-air name is BAMT. Okay, right here, BAMT. You have to be in the Thunder world to be part of this. This is a Thunder VA. Okay, so just as Take 6 did here, he put agree and his on-air name. Okay, then we'll go into OnAir, make sure that it's synced up, and then we'll give you status to become a pilot. Okay, and that's pretty simple. All right. You guys have any questions about that? You can IM me on Discord. Once you join the Discord, I'm Bambino Tech on Discord, or you can IM Diesel as well. Diesel Sims. He's our COO. All right. So if you guys have any questions about that, just pop them in the chat. So Chinaski says, I'm flying OnAir in Europe. Maybe we could set up an FBO in Europe and gain more power. Yeah, we could certainly look at doing that. That's a good idea. Chininsky, why don't you IM me on Discord, and we'll keep that as part of our things that we're going to look into. For now, I want to make sure we get the U.S. FBOs going. Okay. Thomas, what happens when I crash one of these planes? I don't know how that works in OnAir. Maybe Diesel knows. I know that there are like reputation and skill points and all that stuff for how you fly. So I'm not sure. I think you get docked. I'm not sure about the plane. I guess we have to repair it. I don't know. That's why they have the check rides, right? So you're not able to fly these planes unless you do the check rides. But yeah, we'll keep that in mind, Chinansky. Sorry, I appreciate that offer. That's awesome. So yeah, so we're looking forward to getting this expanded. Yeah, I think there are repair costs, Thomas. I think there are repair costs. All right, so if you guys have any questions, let me know. Flight is aboard and you have to do it again. Okay, so Chinansky, do you know if there's any cost to the VA for damage? Okay, cool, gotcha. All right, so that's what OnAir is all about. Okay, pretty simple stuff. It's really it's a pretty cool, detailed. If you're not involved with it yet, it's a pretty cool, detailed system. It's. I love FS Economy, but this is much more detailed. You actually have to think ahead, and you can't just instantly teleport from one airport to the other. You have to, think about how you get to an airport. Oh, I'm well behind you. I was climbing at 90 knots through those first mountains there, so. Yeah, you know what? Just go ahead and I'll meet you at Las Vegas. Don't worry about me. You'll get there a lot faster than me. I'm flying at 160 or 170 knots or something like that, maybe less. Let me look in the cockpit here and see what I'm... 120 knots. I just stepped it up. I just stepped it up a little bit, otherwise it'll take me forever. Yeah, we have a King Air 350. It's going to be at Las Vegas. It'll be at KLAS. We just bought a King Air. We're gonna be buying a few planes. Yeah, that's a good idea, Alan. Let me show you the tracking page. So if you go to right here, let me make this a little bigger so you guys can see it. All right, this is a cool thing about OnAir. Now it's got some issues OnAir, but you can actually toggle airport data here too. So here's a tracking page. So basically you can actually zoom in and out and see exactly where you are on the map. That would be really cool. I don't know if you could show. You can show other airports, which is nice in case you have to find an airport. Okay. You can show METARs. So if you want to see wind. Okay. You can either do. You can also show Bing, I think, if you want to show satellite. I guess that's not satellite, is it? No. All right. So this basically is showing you where you are. It gives you your breadcrumb, okay, and what your path is to your destination. So we take off follow aircraft. I can move this, and you can see. Here's Las Vegas, and this is giving me my different approaches into Las Vegas, which is kind of cool. And this is KINS, which is an alternative if I need to fly there. Okay, gives you your altitude of your flight. If you want to look at the destination airport to get an idea of where you are, your distance to the airport, okay, your heading, what the elevation is of the airport, altitude of the airport, the length of the runways. All this information is pretty cool. Yeah, I'm flying empty right now because there weren't any jobs from Madame Airport to McCarran, and the whole idea here is we're trying to get the King Air to McCarran so I can do a check ride there with it. So, because I haven't gotten a check ride yet on the twin turbo. So anyway, yeah, so this is the flight page. Now, someone asked, how do you purchase a plane? All right, so you want to buy a plane, you go to the world thing, you go to search and generate aircraft, choose from the list, and we're going to choose single engine turbo. So we go TBM, search. All right, so this, let's say we wanted to buy a TBM 930, okay? Click on that, brings it up here, and I want to look for all planes within, let's just say, 100-mile radius of Las Vegas, okay? So I can search that aircraft up. Here's all the planes. It shows me the hours. I like to just do that so I can see the lower hours, okay? It shows me the conditions, so this is, this decreases as time in flights. Engine wear, the airport's located, and the distance from McCarran, and the sale price, okay? So basically, what I like to look for is lower hours. So even though you're going to pay a little bit more, this is a 10,000 hour 10,000 mile hours. That's a lot of hours. So I would rather spend, $50K more, okay, and buy this one where that only has 1,000 hours on it. So it's actually closer. So yeah, so that's basically how you buy one. Pretty simple, all right? And then you can look at the details of the plane going here, and this will show you fuel capacity, practical range, empty weight, max payload, cruise speed, okay, design vertical speed, airport size, I guess you can fly anywhere. No co-pilot needed. Maximum seats 5. I have a debate with this one because in FS Economy they allow 7 passengers on this plane. This one only has a max of 5, and I've seen specs where it can be spec'd out to 7. So I would love to see them change this. I asked them to change it. They haven't done that yet. So, but anyway, it's 5 seats. And then this gives you information about the engine, wear, hours, checkup price, what's expected to pay when you have to do a 100-hour checkup, airframe hours, its current location, and then the price. Okay, and that's pretty much it. So that's how you buy a plane. So you would just basically say buy, boom, you would buy that plane, and you're good to go. Now you need to be at this. If you want to buy this plane and you want to fly it, you need to be at IL4, 1L4 to be able to fly it. So if you're not there, you're going to have to transport there, and transport can take real time. So this is 48 miles from Las Vegas. So if let's say you were standing in Las Vegas, your pilot was in Las Vegas, you would have to transport your pilot to this airport, okay, which might take you a half hour or 40 minutes in real time, in real world time, right?
Los Angeles Center,
So that's how you buy an airplane, I should say. Let's go to the tracking page.
Time is November 8478 Echo Los Angeles Center. Continue as planned. Altimeter 29.902.
All right. Any other on-air questions? No other on-air questions? All right, cool. I'm just glad that we're able to stream. When I started the stream before, I was 35 minutes into it, and my power went off. And then I couldn't get on air working because it crashed in the middle of a power outage, and then I did find something that helped me out there. I had to rename the manifest folder in its installation files and then reinstall it. Pain in the ass. But anyway, it's working now, so that's what's important. So let's talk about my upgrades. So last week I should say this week. I guess it was Monday or Tuesday. I can't remember which. I think it was Monday. Yeah, Monday. I upgraded my gaming PC. So I bought a Gigabyte Vision D motherboard, a Z490 motherboard, and I bought a i7-10700K CPU, and I bought a Noctua, I forget the model number, but it's their 120, it's a 12 model cooler. I forget the model number, but it's a great cooler. And I bought an extra fan, so I have 2 fans on that cooler. And I installed it. And I had some issues before that upgrading Windows. I got through all those, so I did I made a system image, I made a repair disk, did everything I needed to do to back up before I did the upgrade. Okay. And what do I use to record? So I'm using Windows Mixed Reality's Portal view, and let me switch to that. So you see here, this is the Windows Mixed Reality Portal view, and I'm using OBS. But Windows Mixed Reality Portal view is very janky. It's not great. It has it's not a smooth mirror, and there really is no smooth mirror option for the G2 yet. So hopefully we'll get that soon. But it varies by which headset you're using. So if you're using Oculus, you'll probably want to use the Oculus mirror executable that Oculus provides. So back to the upgrade. So I disconnected everything. My son helped me. It was great. We did this together. We disconnected everything. We pulled, and I reused the memory that I had on my other board. So we pulled out the old my GPU. We disconnected all the power cables, or all the cabling from the motherboard. We pulled out my old motherboard. Removed the RAM that we're going to use. Then we set up the new motherboard with a new CPU, installed that. We installed the RAM, and we installed the new cooler. So that was really took us a couple hours to do that right, you know. Installed the new motherboard into my PC. Now theoretically, you should be able to do this, connect it up, and then connect up your keyboard, mouse, and monitor, turn on the switch, and it should, boom, Windows should take care of the rest and discover all the devices with the new CPU and the new motherboard. Well, that didn't happen. What happened was I used the DisplayPort connector to my monitor, and when I turned the PC on, the motherboard has a little LED indicator on it, and it went to this AD code, and nothing came up on the screen. So, of course, it was a terrifying moment, right? Your PC's not coming up. So it did some searching, couldn't figure anything out. Worked on it for, 3 or 4 hours. Finally got to be like 8, 9 o'clock at night. We were kind of done for the day. So put it to rest. And then I did some research, and while I was just watching some TV, and then stumbled across a couple things, one of which was to not use DisplayPort, to use HDMI connector on the motherboard rather than DisplayPort. So the next morning I woke up, came down, hooked up. I even tried moving the M.2 drive into different slots. But in any event, so there was a lot of things we tried. So I removed the DisplayPort, connected up an HDMI, turned on the PC, and boom, I got the BIOS screen, which was awesome. But then my problem was the thing wouldn't boot, and it didn't recognize any of the drives as a boot drive. So spent an hour trying to figure that out, and came across this issue with what they call CSM, I think it's called. So you have to enable CSM. I forget what it stands for, but it's something in the BIOS that enables the motherboard to detect the boot drive. So once I did that, I rebooted, thing came up, and bam, all of a sudden Windows came up. It said, give me a moment, I need to recognize need to configure a few things, or whatever it says. And literally within 45 seconds, I was on my old desktop as if nothing had ever changed. So thankfully, everything worked out. And I've got a new CPU, new motherboard. I can tell you that there's definitely a difference in X-Plane. And there's definitely a difference in Microsoft Flight Simulator having this new CPU. I mean, when I'm in VR in Microsoft Flight Simulator, my CPU barely hits 20%. It used to hit like 60, 70%. It's like, now it's like 20, 25%. And same with X-Plane. So upgrading that CPU made a big difference. And actually in X-Plane, I'm able to bump up objects. I was always running at low or medium, and now I'm running at high, which is great. Yeah, I guess that's compatibility mode, right? Thank you, Saul. That's one thing you have to make sure you have enabled, I guess, when you're doing this upgrade. So the net result of it was great. It's had a great result. It's been running great, knock on wood. Now I can sell my old CPU and the old motherboard, get back about $300, and my net upgrade will be pretty reasonable. It'll be like, I guess my net upgrade is about $500, so it's not too bad. Net upgrade cost, I should say. So you just bought 32 gig upgrade, 16 gig configuration, 2 memory slots. Yeah. So right now I've got 4 8 gig sticks, and it's only 2400 megahertz speed. I just didn't want to spend the money right now on upgrading that. So my plan is to do what you did: 2 16 gig sticks, 3600 megahertz. That's the plan. So that's probably going to cost me about $220, somewhere around there. So, but in any event, yeah. So everything is working great, and now I'm still running the 1080 Ti, but the plan is to upgrade the GPU as well. Holding hopes out for a 1080 Ti with a bunch of VRAM. The rumors are it's going to have 20 gigs VRAM. Also read that they didn't announce one last week. I guess they haven't. We're supposed to announce one, or they were supposed to hint on one. They haven't. NVIDIA hasn't hinted anything about it. So I guess it's still up in the air. We shall see. But I think, did I say 3080 Ti is what I'm planning to upgrade on if it comes out. But anyway, we'll see. We'll worry about the GPU later. But right now, I think really the GPU is my bottleneck, because I'm running at 95% when I'm flying. So, but in any event, all is well, and the upgrade went fantastically. So, all right. So let's see where we are here. Now, like I said, you guys see a janky movement in the 2D view there. I see super smooth movement. We're 90 miles away at 162 knots. We got about 27 minutes to go. So in a few minutes, I'm going to give away a 1-month subscription to OnAir, so you guys can check it out for 1 month. I do believe they have a 7-day free trial for everyone. If you want to check out OnAir, let me just let's see. So if you want to check out OnAir, just go to their website. I'll put the website in the chat here. They were kind enough to sponsor this giveaway. So just check out OnAir right there if you want to check it out. They do have a trial. I think it's a 7-day trial. You can check it out. They have 3 different servers. Cumulus server is less stringent, less detailed than the Thunder server. Thunder is really the advanced server, I guess. Advanced is probably it's the most detailed, real-time aviation world, right? So really, you might want to look. I'm sure there's some videos or some articles on what the difference is, and actually on their website they probably have some information on that too. So be sure to check that out before you. I would start in Cumulus, and that's what I did, and then once you do that, you're like, okay, I want to get right to, after a day or two of that, you're like, oh, let me get to Thunder and start playing with, the real thing. So our aviation, our virtual airline is in on the Thunder server. So you'll have to be part of Thunder if you want to join that up. All right. Yeah, it's definitely it's the hardest, that's for sure. It's good to have a little bit of an understanding, and what you might want to do is go back on my channel, the first couple of episodes. We're on episode 13 now, but if you go back to episode 1 and 2 of my live streams for OnAir, you will, I kind of go over some of the basic stuff, and I was actually getting to know the system and learn it while I was streaming. So, it might be a good idea. Guys, I'm looking at this 2D and it's really janky. Sorry, just so you guys know, that is not how I see this in VR. I always get comments that says, oh, it's terrible, it's jittery, this looks terrible. This is not what it looks like in real life. I'm striving to try to find a solution to desktop mirroring for the G2. It's just non-existent, and I can't. I know SteamVR just made some updates to their software, so I'm going to actually check out that. But the thing with Microsoft Flight Simulator is that you're not running SteamVR when you're. I don't believe you are, right? You're not running SteamVR when you're running this, so. It's a native to it's Open XR. I wish Open XR had its own mirror. That would be great. That would be great if it was a functional 1080p 2D mirror. In any event, it is what it is. So please don't judge the G2 by what you see in this video. Unfortunately, that jankiness, like when I move my head there, you can see how. It's just not smooth. And what I see in real life is super smooth. Yeah, I agree with you. They do have a window. I'll show you right now. I mean, if you look at, you go here, okay? What you see here in my upper left-hand corner, that's the mirror, okay? And what I'm doing is basically reprojecting that onto the stream. But this, it just doesn't work well. Maybe that's because of my GPU is overtaxed. I don't know. But even when it does work well, because at some point I did have it where it was reasonably smooth. The resolution is terrible. This is like it's less than 720p. So you don't get great resolution at all. It's fuzzy. It's not what you see in the headset. So it's a shame. We'll have to deal with that until someone comes up with a solution, and I'm sure someone will. All right, so we have 74 miles to Las Vegas. We're getting there. What we'll do is when we land in Las Vegas, we'll do the giveaway. Okay, guys? Let's do it that way. That's probably the easiest thing, the easiest way to do it. We're going to do a trivia question. We'll do it very simply. You just have to enter a letter in chat, and the first person to enter that letter will win the 1 month subscription. And everybody is eligible, okay? Whether you're new, whether you're existing OnAir member or not, everyone is eligible, right? So, I wonder if there's anything else I can show you here that's kind of cool. I showed you the jobs, right? Now these are, So basically, what you can do here is this is something you should know. So when you go to an airport and you let's say that you were at Los Angeles. I'm sorry, let's say that you were at, let me find a good example here. Let's say you were at Palm Springs, okay? And you had a plane, you had the TBM, and the TBM only carries 1,400 pounds of cargo, okay? You would be able to load up that TBM with 1,400 pounds of cargo from this job. It's something that people might not be aware of. So in other words, multiple people within the VA, okay, can attack a job. So let's say it's 21,000 pounds. Well, if you could get 5 or 6 different planes, each taking a chunk of this, all getting the stuff over to Los Angeles. I'm sorry, to McCarran in Las Vegas. All right, so keep that in mind, and you'll see that when you go to your go to set up a new flight. You'll see when you're at an airport, when you're at one of our airports, if you're a member of the VA, you'll see multiple jobs with passengers and cargo that you can select from to fill your plane up with cargo and completely top it off. Right, so keep that in mind. All right, and as I said, you see here there's plus signs. If you have a flight that's got more than one leg, like this one here, okay, you can see like part of this was delivered already. So these two segments of this 5-part job, which will end up being $91,000 to the group. There's still 2,700, 16,000 of cargo that needs to be flown in this group from PSP to IGM. So as soon as we, if we're collectively working on this as a group, everyone taking a little piece, then once that's done, and you get your piece of that pie based upon how much you carry. So you're getting your 50% pilot's fee based upon how much you're putting in your plane, okay? But once all these 5 segments are done, this 91K is released to the group, and the group becomes 91K richer. All right, so that's basically how it works. So look for that. Make sure you're always loading up your plane when you're at if you're part of the VA and you're at one of the VA flights. Now let's see if we can go into. Let's see how much time we have here. We have 14 minutes, so we actually should start to get our butts down a little bit lower here. Let's see where we are here. So let's. McCarran is at 3,200 feet. So let's just go down to 5,000. We'll go down 1,000 feet per minute. Actually, 1,200. We'll throttle back a little bit because we don't want to overspeed. Actually, I'm going to put it to 8,000. What we're heading to runway 19 right, I believe. Let me look and see. Yeah, I believe it's 19 right. One niner right. This is interesting over here, the lower right-hand corner here. It shows you your altitude, your RPM, power percentage. So sort of keeping track of that. That's pretty cool. Gives you all those metrics. Pretty cool. Oh, you guys can't see that. Sorry. I'm still in VR here. All right, let's go inside here, see where we are. So we're going to be... We've got to get over those mountains here. I'm just trying to figure out altitude. Sky vector. I think we should be okay at 8,000. If not, we'll have to come up a little bit because we're probably... Yeah, I think we should be okay at 8,000. But if not, we'll have to come up a little bit. Unfortunately, you don't get on the on-air screen. It's not showing us elevation. You know, this ferry trip is going to cost the company basically landing fees and gas and whatever, parking fees and stuff without generating any income. But, you know, we needed to get the King Air to Las Vegas so I could check ride it. Well, I'm getting super smooth frame rates. You can just see the frame time there. This actually came up on the VR Aviators group on Facebook. If you're not part of that, if you're interested in learning about VR aviation, whether it's FS 2020 or X-Plane 11, Aerofly, DCS, go on Facebook. If you're on Facebook, look for the VR Aviators Facebook group. Just type in VR Aviators. There's 3,000 people on there. We started about 3 years ago. Tons and tons of knowledge of aviation within VR. A great resource if you got questions, if you just want to get into it, you don't know anything, you want to learn. It's a great place to check out. But there was actually a post in there about comparing the 1080 Ti with a 3080 and how there's not a great amount of frame rate difference, and that may be true. And one of the things that people need to always think about when it comes to FS 2020 and VR, okay, is frame time. Because frame time is basically the time it takes to refresh a frame, basically, in my understanding. And if frame time is high, you get stuttering, okay? If frame time is low, you get smooth transition between frames, okay? So that's important. So it's not just FPS in the formula, it's also frame time. And the second thing that really people generally forget about when it comes to FS 2020 is that the scenery is pretty much cloud based, right? What I mean by that is there's a lot of internet activity that's bringing information into your simulator to help it project the images that you see in the scenery. And now there's a caching system that builds that up, of course. Okay, and the larger your cache, there's probably a optimum cache size. I've got mine at 100 gigabytes, I think. And you want to do that on SSD, if at all possible, because that allows you to have faster disk reads. But that internet connectivity is a factor in your experience, especially in VR. If there's latency, if there's packet loss, if there's resends of packets, all these things that can happen in the internet, that can have an effect on, I believe, on your experience. Now, I think Asobo has done a great job of improving that connectivity and improving the way things are, especially from the way things were in August, and they're getting better all the time. But that's a factor that's got to be considered in. All right, so we're getting close to Vegas here. Karen is sorry. It's yeah, it's 2,200 feet. So we probably want to be at about 4,000 feet. We got 35 miles. We're going to come over these mountains, and then we'll start to descend. I just want to make sure. We could probably go down to 7,000. Let's just go down to 7,000. Look how sluggish this plane is. I'm at 1,000, 100%. And it is flying at 130 knots. There's some problems with this plane in the software. I mean, I have very little gas in the plane, no people. Okay, one person, a pilot, that's it. Because there's not a lot of weight, and this thing is not flying at all as quick as it should be. One thing I will advise people, or suggest, I've been doing VR flight simulation for like 4 years now, okay, and I went through a phase where I was constantly seeking the optimal performance in VR. And listen, I'm not saying that that's not a good thing to do. It is a good thing to do, but there's a point where you just gotta like turn off the FPS counter. Forget about tweaking and just enjoy it. So like right now, I don't care about any of that, right? I'm looking at that mountain, and it's moving pretty smooth. If I really want to be nitpicky, I can say that it's got micro stutters, but I don't. Let's enjoy the flight, you know? Don't obsess over FPS. Don't obsess over FPS. That's just my advice. All right. So again, if you want to join the VR Aviation Virtual Airline on OnAir, go to the Discord server. My Discord server, the link is in the description. Bambino Tech. And look for the channel that says VRAAA Pilots Application. Go in there. There's a pinned message that explains everything and how to do it. You do what you need to do there. Then you go to OnAir. You search up our virtual airline. You sign up for that as a pilot. And we'll get you squared away. So here we are. We're at 7,000 feet. RPM is 100%. Sorry, power is at 100%. RPM is at 2,300. And I'm doing 136 knots. Something's wrong. I should be doing 170 knots right now. All right, so let's come down another thou. 24 miles to our turn. Ground speed's 166, 165, which is great, but our airspeed is 154. That's because we're going down. Hey, Cracker, how you doing? Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. Hello again. All right, so we're going to be, as soon as we land here, we'll be doing the giveaway. All right, leveling off at 6,000 feet. We should start to see the city. I'm glad to see that SAR has experienced the same sluggishness with this plane that I've experienced. All right, so now we know we cleared these mountains, so we're going to be at 2,200 feet to land. So we're going to come down to 4,000. And tucked behind those mountains over there is the city of Las Vegas. To our 2 o'clock, right over there. Starting to see a few buildings as we get closer to the ground here. We're at 43, coming to 4,200 feet. Las Vegas right over there somewhere, should be. Some of those desert communities right there, these designed, planned communities. You can tell by the way the homes are all laid out. Pretty wild. Now we're getting a little stuttering because we're coming into more buildings and stuff. Not going to worry about it. Just want to fly. You've yet to fly any multi-engine props when you... Oh, okay. Yeah, I just have, when you say controls, you mean like your throttles and stuff? I just have it set up so that if I'm flying a multi-throttle, it just, one throttle takes care of both. on my yoke. I'm using a CH Products yoke, so I just have it set up that way. This way it's easier, and I know it's not as authentic, but you know what? Oh well. So you can see here, we're doing 136 knots with the engines at 100%. That's not right. Something's not right with this plane. They need to, and this has been constant with this DA62. Now the nice thing about the DA62 is I think you can fly 6 people in it in OnAir, and it's about the same cargo as the TBM, which is funny because it's a smaller plane. TBM to me seems like it should have more capability. All right, so we're coming to Vegas right there, right? The Las Vegas airport, I believe, is right there in front of us. Or is that North Las Vegas? I'm not sure. Let's check on the map here. Yeah, that looks to be North Las Vegas Airport. We'll get outside and take a look at that. Again, you see that stuttering, and it is not what I see at all. To me, it's absolutely smooth. There's North Las Vegas Airport, and you can see the city right up there. Ooh, someone just subscribed. Who subscribed? Let's see. Dan Gascon, thanks for subscribing. I appreciate that. Thanks for watching. All right, there's the city. We'll be making our turn here in a few seconds
Las
into
Vegas
the
Tower
airport.
Diamond, November 8478 Echo is 9 miles north with Mike to land.
Diamond November 8478 Echo Las Vegas Tower. Fly straight in runway 19 right.
Yep, 19 right.
Altimeter 29.92, wind 257 entry. Diamond 78 Echo cleared to land runway 19 right. Wind 257 entry.
Cleared to land runway 19 right, Diamond 78 Echo.
All right, let's get this plane down safely. I see the airport over there. The other thing in VR, this plane, I guess that's that's as straight as we're going to get it right there. All right, we'll make our turn here. We got 19 right in sight. We'll go hand fly it now. One thing they need to put on this plane is they need to put elevator trim indicator. There's no elevator trim indicator on the MFD, which really you really need, you know. I mean, I could do it by feel because I've flown this plane so often, but let's get that first notch of flaps. There's the city. I will say that in the base scenery, the city of Las Vegas in FS 2020 is not that impressive. You would think that they would include that in the base scenery. Sorry, landing gear's coming down. We got 3 green. We're going full flaps. We're on final here. Wind is calm. That's OnAir telling us about the wind.
Landing time log.
Diamond 78 Echo, turn next taxiway.
Clean up the flaps. We're just going to taxi where we want to, guys.
On 130.0.
Going to 130.0 Diamond 78 Echo.
Just going to park over here. Now with OnAir, in order to register the flight, you have to turn the engines off. FS Economy, you just hit the parking brake and you're good to go. But here you have to actually turn the engines off. So we're just going to go, let's see, let's do it right. Let's go pitot heat, AV master off. Let's do engine off.
Engine off time
We'll
log.
do electric master off.
Flight is finished. It has been monitored by
Let me
OnAir.
turn it off. Oh, I know why. Oh, I see. Look, because it went to this to give us our flight information in VR. Okay, cool. But let's go to get out of VR here, and let's go to desktop. Let's see. Okay, so our flight was good. We're back. We had we gained a reputation, which is good. We didn't really put too much heat on the plane, so we're gonna hit OK. And the plane should be pretty much immediately available. Now the Diamond DA62 is at Las Vegas, ready for you guys to fly it within the network. Let's see. Diesel, just like a real pilot, had to get out of the plane as fast as I could to run to the bathroom. Yeah. Do you accept brand new companies in the VA? Mine is currently in Atlantic Canada, but I can start a new one to relocate. That's up to you. As long as, we're just looking for folks that are going to, like I said, as long as you're flying one flight a month, a minimum of 1 flight a month. We hope you'll do that. But yeah, it doesn't really matter to me, as long as you meet that requirement. Trying to keep it. We're not trying to put too many restrictions on people. All right. So let's see where we are here. We're going to do the giveaway, right? We're going to do the giveaway. So, but before we do that, let's go back to the main menu. And I want to at least have FS 2020 getting me into the, what do you call it? Because we're going to do the check ride in a second here. We're going to go to the King Air. Where is it? King Air. KLAS. McCarran. And we're going to take off this way. All right, so this way, this will at least be waiting for us. Yep, exactly. We have a DA for X-Plane. We have a DA for Microsoft Flight Simulator. We'll probably add a few. We're going to add a few more X-Plane planes. Maybe the ones that are like a TBM. No, wait. Sorry, not TBM. We'll add a few. We're going to add a few of the more popular cargo FS economy type X-Plane 11 planes into this one. So we'll be adding those as we go along. All right, let's do the giveaway. So we're giving away a 1-month subscription to OnAir. Okay, it's going to be a trivia question. And I'm going to give you the answers to the trivia question right now.
November 328 Tango Delta and runway 19 left ready for takeoff.
So
straight out departure.
Copy those into the chat. Okay. So you have them. Exactly. Just let us know. That's what we have the Discord for. If you're thinking about a plane, if we get enough people that are interested in a particular plane, then we'll look into getting that plane into the GA. We're going to be building up a lot of cash here, so we want to give people the abilities to fly. So, all right. So there's going to be 3 possible answers: A, Chinese; B, Japanese; C, Russians. Okay? A, Chinese; B, Japanese; C, Russians. All right, get ready, guys, because this is the trivia question. And I'm going to enter the question in a second here. Okay, are you guys ready? The first person to type the letter A, B, or C, the correct letter, into the chat will win a 1-month subscription to OnAir. Ready? Here it goes. The question is, who invented the kite? Forget about the ago. Who invented the kite? A, B, or C? Conrad, you win. Chinese invented the kite 2,000 years ago. Conrad, do me a favor. IM me on Discord, and I will get you your key. Good try, Cracker. You had it right, too. But IM me on Discord, and I'll get you your key to your 1-month subscription to OnAir. Okay? Congratulations. That's awesome. Hold on. Let me get this... Just let me know that you won the trivia contest with the answer for kite, and then I'll get you your Conrad. I guess what is your? Well, just IM me on Discord, Conrad. All right. All right. Let me just see here. Or are you already on Discord, Conrad? All right, so we're going to do a check ride here. Let's see. We're going to do a check ride. We're going to the check ride. All right, we're going to do the King Air check ride. Thank you to Diesel for getting this plane to KLAS. Let's do a check ride. Minimum fuel, start check ride, 107 gallons. It's 95, current fuel, 95 gallons. What gallons bought? At VUNT, can I just buy my own? Let's do it. No, I want to buy my own fuel. Let's go to here. I want to buy my own fuel from VR. Wait, where's our FBO? Why don't we have our FBO here? Oh, because this uses, this doesn't use Jet A? Guess not. So let's just, what did it say? Well, let's just go back here. Check ride. The fuel we need. I'm going to be in VR. I may do the check ride like this, guys, so you can see what's going on here. So, where the hell is it? Check ride. Alright, so, I remember from the last time, like, it's a good idea to have all your stuff ready to go here. So, like flight director on. We want to set our heading. We're going to go by heading. Just set the altitude to, I'm going to set it to 10K. It's going to tell me what to do. But I'm just going to set it ahead to like 10K, just in case. And know where everything is here, okay? I'm not going to use nav. I got it on heading. I'm going to use vertical speed. Okay, and autopilot. All this stuff is good. Do I have prop sync? Do I need that? No, I think I'm good here. Alright, let me make sure I'm centered properly. So it's going to be a lot easier, I think, doing a check ride in VR. Oh, I know what I want. Panel lights. I like to have the panel lights on, so I can see everything. Alright, cool. Oh, it's okay. It's all right. It's all right. All right, so we're good to go here, I think. So let's start our check ride.
Your flight will be monitored until you land and shut down the engines. Taxi to the runway and take off.
All right, thanks, Diesel. Thanks for ordering that. Taxi to the runway and take off. We are to the runway. We're going to take off. right, gear up.
Horn time log. Fly runway heading. Continue to climb.
Flaps up. Now, there's a lot of mountains around here. I hope this thing takes into consideration. So we're going to fly the runway heading. We'll continue to climb.
Turn right. Heading 300. Climb to 9,500 feet.
All right, so let's go to 9,500. And we're going to go vertical speed. Come on.
Beechcraft 8 Tango Delta, you are leaving my airspace. Frequency change approved. Las Vegas Tower Beechcraft November 328 Tango Delta frequency change. Approach Beechcraft November 328 Tango Delta is type Beechcraft King Air 3 miles southwest of Las Vegas 4,000.
300, sorry.
Request clearance to transition Bravo airspace. Beechcraft November 328 Tango Delta approach. Squawk 2333.
So this mouse is not functioning very good.
Beechcraft 8 Tango Delta. Beechcraft 8 Tango Delta radar contact 4 miles southwest of Las Vegas 5,500 feet. Cleared through the Bravo airspace. Cleared through the Bravo airspace Beechcraft 8 Tango Delta.
I cannot. Come on, man. I cannot get the vertical speed to work. Well, we'll just hand fly. We'll just hand fly. Some reason I cannot.
Continue to heading 300, altitude 9,500 feet. Now, maintain 9,500 feet and heading 300 for a couple of minutes.
Yeah, for some reason the mouse, VR mouse, is not letting me hit those controls properly.
Tango Delta, you're leaving my airspace. Radar service terminated. Squawk 1200. Frequency change approved.
So we'll just hand fly it. It's so much easier to use autopilot.
Squawk 1200.
I guess I could
Frequency
just
change
do
approved.
altitude.
Beechcraft 8 Tango Delta. Ellis approach Beechcraft
Please
November
return
328
to a
Tango
level
Delta
flight
is
at
type Beechcraft King Air 7
9,500
miles
feet.
west of Las
Keep
Vegas.
heading 300.
Request flight following.
Now, maintain 9,500 feet and heading 300 for a couple of minutes.
Approach. Squawk 4465.
Squawk 4465 Beechcraft 8 Tango Delta.
I can't even turn on autopilot.
Return to a level flight at 9,500
Beechcraft
feet.
8 Tango
Keep
Delta
heading
radar contact
300.
9 miles southwest of North Las Vegas 9,700 feet. Altimeter 29.902.
Cockpit overload.
Now,
Copy, Beechcraft 8
maintain
Tango Delta.
9,500 feet and heading 300 for a couple of minutes. degrees, return to a level flight at 9,500 feet, keep heading 300. Now, return and land at your departure airport with an appropriate IFR or VFR approach.
Oh shit. Okay, I forgot about that. I gotta go. Oh, VFR. So I'm just gonna go VFR. Yeah, so that mouse, this mouse does not allow you to properly control the flight director panel, which is kind of messed up. A lot easier to return when you can. Okay.
Overspeed.
It's a lot easier to return to the airport when you can see where the hell you are in VR, you know. 2D, I did all my check rides before this in 2D, and it was a lot harder. Not hard, but wasn't as easy. My airport is somewhere over there.
Nellis approach Beechcraft November Tree 28 Tango Delta. Request clearance to transition Bravo airspace.
Beechcraft November Tree 28 Tango Delta Nellis approach. Cleared through the Bravo airspace.
Cleared through Bravo airspace Beechcraft 8 Tango Delta.
Trying to see where the hell the airport is.
Beechcraft 8 Tango Delta contact approach on 120.45.
Going to 120.45 Beechcraft 8 Tango Delta. Approach Beechcraft November Tree 28
Right
Tango
there.
Delta 4,300 feet.
Beechcraft November Tree 28 Tango Delta approach continue as planned. Altimeter 29.902.
It's a pretty easy check ride. You just climb to an altitude, fly level, and then return.
It's the right airport.
All right, we're all good to go. Have to figure out what the problem is with the VR mouse, though, because it's going to be difficult. I've flown this before in VR. It was never like that. Maybe I just have to reset FS 2020 or restart it or something.
Landing time logged. Taxi to your parking and shut down the engine.
All right, hopefully we pass the check ride. I don't see why we wouldn't. Let's bring her up to a gate. What the hell? That works for me. Parking brake. Set. Engines. Where are they? Turn that off.
Oral warning, okay.
Okay, where's the engines? Oh, I guess I could just do this. Just do mixture.
Engine off time logged. Flight is finished. It has been monitored by OnAir.
Check ride passed? Yes? No? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, I don't think I passed. Nope, I didn't pass. Oh, well. You know what, guys? I'm going to have to do this another time. I got to figure out what the hell's wrong with that Apple mouse. I mean, it's not Apple mouse, the VR mouse, because I don't know. It's that something happened there. I wasn't able to, because normally what I do when check rides, I use autopilot, you know. Not the first time I failed a check ride. What can you say? I'll get it next time. But yeah, for some reason I couldn't use the autopilot, and that's how I usually do the check rides. Just makes it so much easier. And what it did, it returned me to the airport before I went through all the steps. Anyway, yeah, what you're seeing on the desktop is the left and right eye. That's actually what Microsoft Simulator gives you as their mirror. I wish they gave you a 2D mirror. We need to request that. Let's make that a request to Sobo to give us a 2D mirror for VR. That would be awesome to have. That would solve a lot of issues, because then we could just use that mirror and turn off the Windows Mixed Reality mirror, and it would save a lot of GPU, right? So, but in any event, I think that's going to do it for me today. It's been an interesting day of streaming. I scared the Czech rider. He went to the bar to have a scotch. I appreciate you guys watching. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do hit the subscribe button. Please hit the like button if you like what you saw. If you didn't like what you saw because I failed the Czech ride, you go ahead, hit the dislike. Fine with me. But I appreciate you guys checking out the stream. Diesel, thanks for the help today. Guys, make sure if you go to the Discord, look in my Discord, look in the VRAAA Pilots application channel, and that'll tell you how to sign up for our on-air VR Aviation Virtual Airline. Can VA pilot? Yes, I believe you can. Conrad, I believe you can. I believe you can use VR planes for check rides. Yes, I believe you can. I just did. I'm a VA pilot, so that's exactly what I just did. All right, guys, I'm going to sign off. I appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of the weekend, and we'll talk soon. All right, guys. Thanks. Have a great day.